Welcome to your astrological weather report. This week's forecast is showing sunny with 100% chance of magic. Good morning, loves. My name is Comet. This is Magic Monday. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of January 23rd to January 29th, what the planets are doing and how we are going to feel these influences and themes down here on our planet, planet Earth. And I am here every single week, rain or shine, great astrology or bad astrology, coffee or magic mind in my hand, here to deliver the forecast of what you can expect with this week's astrology. And furthermore, what I'm the most interested in is how you can co-create with these themes, how you can bob and weave with what the planets are giving us in order to create the most magic within your world. And this week in particular, heavy on the magic, my love. Venus, the planet of love and beauty and money, enters her exaltation, her favorite place to hang out, Pisces. So she is thriving. And when the planet of beauty and leisure is thriving, we tend to find more sweetness and enjoyment within our day-to-day. We tend to be able to hone in on the beauty around us, the beauty within individuals. And we also have, in addition to that magical influence, we also have Sun sextile Jupiter, we have Sun trine Mars. So not only are we feeling good, we're inclined to take action on what the next part of our journey will be. Are there particular challenges and hardships within this week? Absolutely. I'll call them like I see them. You know me. If you join me for your Monday horoscopes, I will always let you know what to be mindful of as we navigate the week's astrology. But first, before I dive into our vibe check of the week, I want to give a warm thank you to the sponsor of this week's Magic Monday, which is Magic Mind. When we have a magical week of astrology, we need to start it magically, and how I like to start my mornings is with Magic Mind. Magic Mind is the world's first productivity drink that really works with your brain, with your body to get you into flow state, so improving memory recall, improving your attention span, while decreasing that crash that oftentimes coffee can create. And I've been obsessed with Magic Mind for about a year now, and it's just gotten better because they have reformulated, and because of the new nanotech process, it only takes just 3 to 5 minutes to absorb it. Before, the old formula, you had to wait about 30 minutes before you're like, whoop, okay, my mind is dialed in. And also, another reason I love Magic Mind is because of its immunity profile. Since I've been taking this consistently, I've not gotten a cold. And when I tell you, my love, everybody in my life has been sick, and I have not gotten sick. Just saying, knock on wood, but I truly believe that a shot of Magic Mind a day with its vitamin C, with its immunity that it offers, really is keeping the sniffles away. But in addition to its existing vitamins, the reformulation also adds vitamin B complex, which supports with your cellular and your brain function. Also, for my vegan loves, they've swapped out the honey that makes it sweet for agave. So all of the magic, just a new formula, and I feel so honored that they've chosen to sponsor this video and to work with me. Truly, my loves, I don't know if anybody else has been going through it with this Mercury and Mars retrograde, but the brain fog was so real, and Magic Mind was so helpful for allowing me to snap into focus and for me to be able to seize magical weeks of astrology like the week ahead that we have here. So they have an exciting campaign. If you want to jump in, just until January 31st, you can get 3 months of your Magic Mind subscription for the price of 2. And you can use my code, which is Comet20, on top of that. So really it comes down to getting like 3 months of a subscription for like 1 month. So if you've been wanting to try, get your year started on a positive, magical note, my love, make sure to check the link below, use code Comet20, and get your magic on, my love. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this, and we can take it into vibe check of the week. So cheers, my loves, and let's make it a magical week. Okay, my love, so now that I've taken my shot of Magic Mind, let's get into Vibe Check of the Week. So here on Magic Monday, we start our astrological weather forecast with Vibe Check of the Week to essentially tune into the big picture theme of what this week's astrology can bring to the surface by likening all of the aspects, all of the ingresses, all of the stations, whatever is occurring to a real life scenario, so that even if you don't remember all the intricacies of Mercury square Chiron and Venus entering Pisces, you could begin to tune into the overall vibe that the week's astrology will bring. And so you may know, if you've tuned into Magic Monday for a while, that when I do vibe check, I essentially write down all of the transits, and I sit down, I contemplate each of the energies, and then I sit and I just clear my mind, and whatever is first jump in my mind is the vibe check. And so this week it came via a song, a portion of song, which I suppose is very on brand with Venus entering Pisces, which is a very artistic, inspired, in tune with muse energy. And it's a Marina song, and it's the portion of the song where she goes, oh my gosh, don't make me sing, but I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. I know exactly why I walk and talk like a machine. This chair is more bouncy than I've realized before. The portion of the song that I really want you to tune into is, I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. There is this forward momentum, this clarity, like the fog of Mercury retrograde is clearing. Like if you were suspended in the space of indecision or maybe just exhaustion, just not really getting excited about anything, it does feel like there is this little glimmer around what it is that is exciting us at the moment or what it is that we are moving in a direction towards. And so if you've been suspended in indecision or just burnout or just feeling drained or just not knowing what it is that you want, this week is about the glimmer. It's not about, quitting your job and moving and doing all the things, but attuning to the glimmer. And when I think of this line, I don't know if anybody else is like this. This might be my Pisces showing, but does anybody else, when you consume a really good piece of media, like you watch a movie, you're like that? I want to be like that person, right? What can I do to bring elements of that person's life into my life? Like I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. I want to be like you. I don't care if you're a fictional character. That is who I am. And I'm going to integrate parts of your personality into my own. And that might be strange, but maybe you don't feel it in terms of movies. Maybe you feel it in terms of just being in the orbit of someone that you really admire and just being like, I want that person's career. I have a career crush on that person, or flipping through a magazine and being like, I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. Attuning to the glimmers of what is inspiring us, what is exciting us, and who it is that we want to be, what it is that we want, the direction that we are going towards. And so the reason why this week's astrology feels like that bit of the Marina song, I know exactly what I want and who I want to be, or you could think about it when you watch a movie and you're like, that character, that's who I want to be, or when you read a book and you're like, I'm going to integrate parts of your personality traits, or just wherever you sharpen into clarity around, this is what I want, this is who I want to be, this is the direction I'm going in, right? That glimmer, that excitement, when muse takes form, when you sharpen the focus around what the next iteration of your journey, when you finally make that decision or make a decision in a direction, there is this building momentum in the cosmos as it relates to change. Again, be mindful, okay? Be mindful. It's not quit your job, leave your man energy quite yet. That's next month. No, I'm just kidding. But it's not quite the clearance to totally shake up our life. But it is really powerful around sharpening into focus what direction we are going towards and what is inspiring us at that moment and what our inspirations are telling us. Because one of the reasons this week feels like this certainty, right, is because with Venus entering Pisces, it's this energy around we're feeling more inclined towards our intuition. We're feeling more tapped in. We're feeling more in flow with the universe around what are the odds that I would have this particular conversation on this topic that I've been interested in? And they mentioned that there's this class starting, like beginning to tune into the synchronicities that just makes you feel so supported that you're just like, yes, I know what I want and the universe knows this is what I want and I'm going in this direction. So we are supported when it comes to novelty. We have Mercury trine Uranus and Sun sextile Jupiter. There is this energy around sharpening the big picture and moving towards it, having this energy of certainty or having this energy of excitement as we move towards the big picture, move towards the vision. And with Venus in Pisces, trusting our intuition on that pursuit. Like with Venus in Pisces, this is the energy of inspiration, of muse, of feeling supported by the universe, right? So there's not only this certainty and this courage with Sun trine Mars to want to be able to follow our own impulses, to be able to act on what is inspiring us at this moment, but there's also this feeling around feeling supported by the universe as you do so, as you move in that direction, being more attuned to the beauty and the enjoyment within the current iteration of your life with Venus in Pisces, but also feeling supported as you step into the next one, feeling supported by the big picture. Now, there are some sticky spots. We have Mercury square Chiron. Sometimes there can be an energy when we tune into, that movie and that book and be like, I want that. How do I get from here to there? And like comparing ourselves, like again, inspiration and sacred mirrors are so important around being able to tune into what is it that I admire about this fictional character's life or this individual in this magazine's life. And if we can view it as inspiration rather than competition, we can allow ourselves to up level, right? Without getting stuck in this like, why is that not me? Why is that not me? Why that's not me? You can think of it as like, why is that not me? I'm not good enough. Or you could be like, why is this not me? What do I need to do right now in order to get there? What certifications did you take? What classes did you take? The focal point is yours, really. And with so much focus on the future, like just being mindful as it relates to ruminations of the past, like the bold arrow of time just moves in one direction. And so this is sort of week that there is a quickening momentum around knowing what it is that we want, knowing who it is that we are, but also who it is that we want to be, and feeling exceptionally supported by the universe as we move in that direction. So my love, we're going to take it day by day. I want to let you know that all times that I mention are PST or GMT -8. So make sure that you adjust into your time zone before putting it into your planner. I also want to let you know that I have timestamps below if you want to jump to a particular day or jump back to a particular day. And without further ado, let's dive into the astrology forecast for Monday, January 23rd. So Monday, January 23rd, so the moon will be void from 2:19 to 9:39 a.m. It's void in the sign Aquarius, and the closing aspect is a conjunction to Venus. So just so you know, void moons, when the moon is void, important tasks we must avoid. So I wouldn't do the most important meeting, the most important pitch of your life while the moon is void. What I would do with that closing aspect to Venus, I would take a long time getting ready on Monday. I'm telling you, that could be therapeutic. Like I'm talking, put on your favorite playlist and just do your makeup, just try on different outfits, just sink into beauty. For some of you, this would be an amazing election to make a delicious breakfast. Take your time. Move into the week slow and softly and indulge in the beauty around you. Water your plants and be really present with it. Make a breakfast and really smell all the spices. Get ready and really just attune to the process. Find that little bit of enjoyment and pleasure and softness and sweetness as you ease into the day ahead. And then when the moon enters Pisces, you know, that kind of dreamy start to the day doesn't totally go away. Like it just feels like on Monday, you're going to kind of be in your own world because the moon enters Pisces and then it builds to square Mars in Gemini. So you could be like just feeling totally checked out from emails, just being daydreaming at meetings, just be like anywhere but here. Very sleepy. This is a very sleepy girl sort of day. You know, the moon squaring off with Mars, it can sort of dissipate our energy levels. Some people will feel this as though their inspiration is going in so many different directions that they don't know how to direct it or what to funnel it into. So being like, should I knit? Or wait, I actually need to listen to this album. Or wait, I actually want to do this. Or maybe you feel this when it comes to your business or your job, just feeling so scattered that you're not really creating progress in one direction. Like with the Pisces moon, your head can be in a dream, your head can be in a cloud. You can be inclined towards daydreaming or maybe just dreaming, maybe sleeping a little bit longer on Monday. And my best advice I would just say is if there is something important, strive to, you know, just gently pull yourself back from dreamland every so often, ground down. It might be nice to do something physical with your body, as sometimes with moon square Mars, because of the deep emotions of the Pisces moon squaring off with Mars, we might be a little bit more reactive because of a more emotional place. So it might be really aligned to do something physical, move your body, do something that's good for the body, but also feeds the soul. So like after work, if you can go for a walk or take a nice yoga class, something that allows you to kind of release some tension or stress with the square to Mars, while also giving Pisces moon what it wants, which is connection to the ethers. On Tuesday the 24th just feels like this very synchronistic day. Have you ever had that where everything just feels like it's like kind of snapping into place, or there's like weird coincidences that you're like, wait, what are the odds that I wanted to go to this retreat and then I look at it and one of the days is on my birthday and it just so happens my boss has given me that day off, where it just feels like the universe is aligning and conspiring for you. That is what Tuesday feels like. It's so nice to feel that level of support from the universe, and you just have this energy around, I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. Like I want this retreat. I knew, my instincts were telling me, and I just feel so supported and so guided by the universe as I move towards it. And this is because we have the Aquarius sun sextiling Jupiter in Aries. So this is a nice confidence boost, right? And with the energy of Jupiter, really attuning to what in our life is giving us a sense of meaning, where it is that we feel inclined to want to grow and to evolve. Tuesday just feels like a really important day to trust your gut and observe the synchronicities. Like, what are the odds that 3 people would mention Costa Rica when I've been really wanting to travel there? The odds that this knitting group put this poster on this lamppost that I walk by every day, and today I noticed it just when I was thinking about how I really want an activity that connects me with other people. Like attuning to those little glimmers and those little testaments to the universe and how it's supporting you and cheering you on. It's so beautiful. Like when you start to attune to it, suddenly it's all that you see. Like if anybody else sees like, you know, angel numbers, like when you see 111 or 222, and then all of a sudden every time you look at your clock, 111, 222, and you're just like, oh, okay, what are the odds of that? I'm feeling supported. And you know, you might be into that sort of stuff, you might not. You're getting your horoscope told to you by a Pisces, so I'm pretty into that stuff. And I would just say on Tuesday, even if you're not, play with it. Okay, think, what if this was not a coincidence? Think, what if this was designed? What if it was not a coincidence that I keep getting Costa Rica brought up, or that every time that this individual says that they want to set me up with this person, I see my favorite breed of dog walk by? Like attuning to those little patterns that you're tuning into, those little glimmers of excitement. And just with Sun sextile Jupiter, what if you were supported by the universe? What if you were supported by a higher power or by a bigger picture? How would that change how it is that you show up now? How would that change how confident you feel taking action when you just feel so supported going towards it? How would that change how it is that you navigate when things have a lot of resistance? Like if you can get into that mindset around everything is working out for me, and even if it's not, for some reason it is, and I just can't see it at this moment, even if it's not true, even if your logical mind is like, no, Haley, like sometimes, you know, the world is just random and what have you. But what would it hurt if you played in that world on Tuesday? Like, what would it hurt if you just allowed yourself to view the world around, what if everything was happening for me? What if I am being guided to go on this retreat, and that's why the universe, the cosmos, is sending me all of these repeating numbers, and I keep seeing all of these little glimmers of coincidences? What if I'm being supported? Again, a lot of you might not operate in this way, or you think of the world in more so logical terms. I'm not taking that away from you, but I would just say on Tuesday, how would it show up if you did feel supported? Like, would you show up with a little bit more confidence? Would you feel a little bit more sure of yourself if you knew that that idea that's in your head that you keep being urged to put out there was given to you, hand delivered by the universe, and they're pushing you in that direction? Even if it's objectively true or false, you know, what the big picture of it all is, I think it would shift how it is that you operate within your world. I think it would allow you to live your life with a little bit more optimism, a little bit more faith, this self-fulfilling prophecy around everything works out. And even if it feels like it doesn't, it does. And I'm attuning to the glimmers and the hints. It makes life seem like a game, truly. The universe is constantly sending us breadcrumbs to see if we are paying attention, right? If you just so happen, 3 of the podcasts that you listened to this week, like they all mention this particular book, you're like, what if that was a nudge from the universe to read that book? And then you read that book and it changes your life, right? There's constantly little glimmers and whispers of little signs from the universe that are trying to get your attention. And on Tuesday is a really good day to pay attention, my love, okay? Pay attention to what is exciting you, to what gets brought up into your awareness, towards what your attention is derived around, because we have that Sun sextile Jupiter. So again, trusting our instincts, feeling that push from the universe around this feels right. You feel it internally, it's being echoed externally via the signs and the synchronicities that you are tuning into. We have the Pisces moon sextiling Mercury and sextiling Uranus. So we are both attuned to the magic, the woo-woo, the synchronicity of it all, the Pisces energy of it all, but also grounding it down in a very practical way. So follow the glimmers, my love. And just as you feel supported when it's like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to start this business. I think I want to go in this direction. Also honoring your intuition if you're like, for some reason, it just feels off. It just doesn't feel right. Like the more you can tune into those glimmers around where it is that you're feeling supported and guided, the more you can also tune into, where am I feeling a lot of resistance? Where am I actually feeling blocked around this? There was this trip that I almost put my deposit down, and there was like a lot of pressure, like you got to put a deposit down if you want to go by this time. And I was just like, okay, logically, this is a trip of a lifetime. Like, why am I experiencing resistance? Like, why am I not sending the deposit? I just didn't have that clarity, like that little push around just feeling intuitively like this is a trip of a lifetime, you need to go. I wasn't feeling that. And even though logically, I was like, come on, it makes sense. The numbers make sense. The experience makes sense. Put down the deposit. I just couldn't. I just didn't feel into it. And it was so weird because it's everything that I love in a trip. And for some reason, I was just experiencing resistance. And I think it's because the more that I've sort of trusted my intuition and the more I really tune into when I'm feeling, heck yes, yes, this is direction, yes, this is what I'm going for, versus those moments when I'm like, okay, like it's right, so like, come on. Like the more that you attune to your intuition, the more you tune into your strong yeses and your strong nos. And that is such an important muscle for you to work because this external world is loud and your intuition is soft, but your intuition will be the most accurate barometer and GPS system in order to navigate you through life truly. So the more you can tune into it, the more magical of an existence you will live, because then you will really understand how it is that you are constantly guiding you, even if your logical mind hasn't quite caught up yet. And so this week, when I first turned into it and like heard that song, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, because it was almost this energy where I was so suspended in not being sure about this trip. And I was like, oh, Mercury's retrograde. And I was just like making up all these excuses, and just like internally, it just felt off. It was so weird. Everything about it was right, but it just felt off. Versus if you've ever felt that experience where you're like, you don't even have all the details. Like someone hasn't even finished telling you about this class or about this job. And you're like, yes, 100%, yes, 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 right? You feel it. And honing that, right? And trusting that. Trust your gut on Tuesday. And with the moon conjoining Neptune, you can be feeling this alignment around feeling this burst of lucky energy, feeling this forward momentum with Sun sextile Jupiter. Some individuals can be feeling more emotional or more sensitive. So just being mindful around the situations that you are around, as Neptune sort of makes us dissolve into our surroundings. Sometimes individuals can feel more lost or more unsure. Again, people will be loud. They'll have a lot of opinions for your life, what it is that you should do, what it is that you shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, it is your life, and your soul, I guarantee, is your best co-pilot. It is your best cheerleader. It is your best GPS. So on Tuesday, tune in. What is it telling you? What is it inspiring you at the moment? What are you feeling pushed towards? What are the little patterns that you're beginning to tune into? What are the synchronicities? And furthermore, how are they making you feel? What do you feel? Your intuition's trying to tell you something. But oftentimes we can subscribe it around just being like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? When it's like your emotions are trying to tell you something, your gut instincts are trying to tell you something. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't feel like you need to be happy all the time, or you need to take advantage of every single opportunity, every single invitation. Attune to your emotions. Notice what's getting drawn to your awareness. So I just want to validate, just in case anybody on Tuesday is feeling very emotional. It is a Pisces moon. Okay, my love. So this is, some people can be crying, feeling very emotional, feeling very sensitive. I definitely would be a little intentional about who you were around. Like Tuesday would be a great day to be around the coworkers, the people, the connections in your life that feel like sunshine. Because again, with the conjunction of Neptune building in the evening, definitely interesting dreams. Go to sleep with the dream dictionary next to you. But Neptune is the energy of dissolving and merging. So it can be very supportive to be in situations and around people where we want to merge with our energy, whether it's just like people who just uplift us, or nature environments that uplift us, or anything of the nature. But if we're around situations that just are a little bit more negative, we can take on a little bit more of that energy. So on Tuesday, heavy on the self-care, heavy on the dream dictionary, heavy on the following of your intuition and attuning to its glimmers. So on Wednesday, the 25th, the moon will be void in Pisces, closing aspect sextile to Pluto in Capricorn from 8:12 to 10:40 a.m. PST. So if you're feeling extra sleepy, you have to lie in bed to be like, what was that dream that I had last night? You have to take a little time to meditate, write it in your dream dictionary, and just like process. That is okay. The moon is void. And I don't know if anybody else feels that, but I like wake up with the dreams emotions still so attached to me, and it can literally make or break my day. Like I'll wake up just riddled with anxiety because it's something that went down in a dream. I'll wake up like so sad about something that happened in a dream, and it's really hard for me to shake off. So on Wednesday, just be gentle with yourself if you can relate to that. When the moon enters Aries, this is kind of a forward burst of motivation to be like, okay, girl. That did not happen. That was a dream. Let's let go of those emotions. Those are not ours. And let's go boldly and courageously into the future. So while there are multiple planets still in their shadow, We are in a waxing crescent moon phase, and there's a lot of forward momentum here. So this is a supportive week as it relates to new beginnings, new investments, new decisions, new relationships, whatever new. Again, be mindful, reread, go slow, check in. But I don't want to take away the kind of burst of motivation that's sort of coming from this week. With Jupiter in Aries, I feel like a lot of individuals, you know when it's right, and when you're looking for clarity around if it's right or not, it might potentially be wrong. Like sometimes we need to wait for that just internal gut reaction around, yes, this is for me, rather than being suspended in clarity around, is it for me? Is it not for me? What's going on? Like, you know, and it might take time sometimes to tune in to what it is that you want, but paying attention to your heck yeses and paying attention to your heck nos. And so with this Aries moon building off the Aquarius sun, like this is waxing crescent moon. This is forward momentum. This is eye on the target. This is the direction that I'm going in. I know exactly what I want and who it is that I want to be. I know the direction that I'm going in. And maybe it's just like seeing that knitting class, seeing that person, whatever it is. There's this energy around, I know what I want. I know who I want to be. And I'm going after it. And the universe is meeting me halfway this week because the Aries moon conjoins Jupiter. So Wednesday might be nice to take a risk, might pay off. Really, it's just a strong call for initiation, for jumping in. And also on that note, like honoring your own intuition, like Aries moon, Aries is a sign of self-independence, self-sufficiency, and it kind of just makes this nice little sextile to the Aquarius sun. And both of these signs are fiercely their own person. So there might be people who will be like, you're gonna be in that knitting class, or like you're dating that person. Like people don't always get it. But so long as you get it and it feels right to you, that is all that matters, right? And so whether it comes to that trip that you've been trying to decide if you want to take, or whatever decision that gets sharpened and focused this week around, yes, waiting for that burst of clarity and following it. Okay, I'm sure the people in your life have great intentions for you, but they don't get it. They don't have to live your life, right? I had so many people telling me about that trip that I was talking about yesterday. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And I was like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I need to trust me more than I trust y'all, as much as I love y'all, because I am the captain of this ship, so I have to be able to trust my decisions. It's really interesting. Like when it comes to this particular year, let me know if anybody else relates with this, but when it comes to this particular year, there has been this weird cast over. Normally, I'm pretty, my Virgo moon, Virgo rising, I'm pretty good about making plans around dialing everything in. I've just been suspended in this sort of in between. It just feels like there's a lot in my life that's up in the air, and I haven't been feeling inclined to want to take action towards anything. Like even micro things around, do you want to go to this concert? And I'm like, I love this artist, but for some reason, I'm just getting this call around keeping my calendar really open in 2023. And I'm like, okay, this could all, I don't know why my intuition is telling me that. Sometimes it's a little concerning, but I need to follow it, because if it feels off, it feels off. And I just need to hone that, and I just need to follow that. And it's very interesting. And I was excited tuning into this week around this energy of clarity, because I do film these right before the week. So I'm looking forward to this week, just in case I'm able to sort of sharpen in clarity around why energetically I'm feeling this pull around just holding my schedule open. I don't know what the deal is. So you guys are going to be along with me for this journey. How I think of it when I think of this energy is that not everybody can live your life, because not everybody has your chart. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world through the lens of how we are. We see the world through the lens of our own chart. So there can be certain people trying to tell you things around, you need to do this, you need to do this, but they're coming at it from their lens, from their chart. Let's say that friend who's like, you need to quit your job and travel for a year. Like that's what you need to do. And this is an individual, their chart has a 9th house stellium. So that's something that is a strong focus for their life. They have Jupiter there. It brings a lot of expansion. Whereas you have a Cancer sun with a Taurus moon and North node, 4th house. You just have a different emphasis in this lifetime. Like it's not to say that you shouldn't travel, but it's like, while we should appreciate wisdom and individuals sharing their perspective with us, at the end of the day, it's up to us to live out the promise and the beauty and the blessing of our birth chart, and to make the decisions that are in alignment with our soul. Because other people will try to encourage you and tell you based on their charts, and they have great intentions, right? That 9th house stellium is like, yeah, that changed my life. Whereas you might feel a little bit more inclined around really wanting to root down, really wanting to create a safe sanctuary, maybe having little trips, but maybe being gone for a year could be very destabilizing, right? Like honoring your chart, honoring your soul, honoring your path, and honoring that whisper within you that will not lead you wrong, my love, okay? Let that be the loudest voice in your head, because when you know, okay? And if you don't know, you're just waiting for your intuition to scream loud enough. When I was trying to make up my decision about that trip, I kept playing all these spiritual games. I would be like, okay, if I see 777 3 times on a license plate, then I'll go. Or if I see 2 pugs, I have all these little things, and it kept not working out. And I was like, okay, well, let's just try another one. Let's just try another one. Let's try another one. But it's maybe it's just not right. And you don't need to know exactly why. Maybe I'll know in a year's time why I'm getting this call around just not planning anything, around just keeping things open. Maybe I'll know with time, but right now it's just feeling like a no, and I need to honor that. And you need to honor that. Follow your yes, honor your no this week. So on Thursday, the 26th, the Aries moon sextiles its ruler, Mars in Gemini, and then squares off with Mercury in Capricorn around 7 a.m. And this is exactly the encapsulation of the battle between the head and the heart that I was just describing to you. Or to be more specific, the battle between our gut instincts and our mind trying to talk us in or talk us out of things. Aries is an energy that trusts their instincts, okay? Whether it's, I am not feeling this person. I am not feeling this person. I get a bad vibe off them, and I'm not going to fake the funk. Or trusting their instincts around, this is the direction I'm going in. This is what it is that I want. This is who it is that I want. There is a strong instinctual reaction. And with Jupiter in Aries, a lot of our luck, Jupiter, can be found when we trust our instincts, right? When we are bold and courageous and going in the direction of what sets us on fire. With this, it's almost this energy. Have you ever had to talk yourself into something or talk yourself out of something around being well, I get this really bad vibe off Genevieve, but come on, give her a chance, be nice, or I really don't feel inclined to want to go on this trip, but it's this much and these benefits, any sort of energy where you're trying to talk yourself in or talk yourself out, or you're just suspended in between around, this is what I want, but this is what makes sense. With Moon square Mercury, there can be this battle internally. And I also just want to highlight, when it comes to work communications, it can be more feisty than you intend. Make sure to reread. Mercury's still in the shadow before you hit send. You can find you're a little bit more inclined to snap. It might be coming from a vulnerable place because Mercury is building to square Chiron, but that's a whole other story. But what I want to share is that with the moon squaring off with Mercury, we can be a little bit more reactive emotionally, but also trying to logicize our emotions. Should I be feeling this way? Should I not? What makes sense? I feel this way, but I shouldn't feel this way. Kind of just being stuck in our head. I would just say, get out of your head, get into your body. The Aries moon does sextile Mars and Gemini, so great morning for a workout. Get some blood moving. Sometimes I swear there can be a clarity that is found when working out that is hard to find elsewhere. So that would be a great recommendation for that morning. The moon conjoins Chiron. Again, sort of a preview energy for the more sensitive trigger point that's kind of being activated on Friday around being a little bit more defensive or being a little bit more jealous or competitive or anything of that nature. Again, I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. And for us to sharpen our ambitions into focus, sometimes it could be helpful to see it come to the surface within other people, around seeing someone on Instagram who has this thriving makeup business and being like, I know exactly what I want, who I want to be. I want to be this person. I want to create this brand. Maybe not the same one, but something similar. She's living my life, or the life that I want. I've been feeling this strongly with this show. It's called The Bold Type. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I just play it in the background when I'm editing, and it's just these girlies who are working in New York at this magazine. They're besties. It's kind of one of those shows that you don't have to be paying too strong of attention. So I could just be editing, look up, oh, cute outfits, girl boss drama, then go back to editing. But with it, there's been so many polls where I'm like, do I need to go back to my corporate era? Do I need to suddenly move to New York and go get a job at a magazine? Because I want this. I know exactly what I want and who it is that I want to be. I'm probably not going to do that. Gal can dream. And thank goodness for those, characters who are reflected to us, or those experiences that are reflected to us that sharpen into focus the direction that we are heading and what it is that we want. Again, Concept of sacred mirrors. We can either feel competitive around they have what I want. If it's someone in real life, rather than getting competitive around they have what I want and I'm bad and taking it personally, just being grateful, being like, I'm so grateful to be inspired in this way. Inspiration is an important thing. We need to hone and soak the flames of what inspires us in this life, right? Rather than trying to be like, well, her makeup brand isn't that successful, or like her car is not even that nice, or her dog is not even that nice. Like, allow that individual to be a mirror to you, to what it is that you could be capable of, and know that your desires are not random. They picked you for a reason, but it is a responsibility to stoke that dream, to stoke that desire, to bring it into existence, that makeup brand or whatever it is that you want or that you're sharpening in focus this week. It's not going to land on your forehead, right? Or it's not going to land on your doorstep. You need to nourish the dream, take care of the dream, right? You need to express it in your own way, not the exact iteration of that person. But being grateful for those opportunities that reflect to you what is possible, and being grateful for the universe trying to whisper to you like, hey, something like this could be possible for you. Tune in, find out how they did it, or tune in, what is it that you really admire about this person, or tune in. And then on the 26th, we also have Venus entering Pisces, and this is her exaltation. So she's extra comfy cozy here. Venus is the planet of love. So whereas with Venus in Aquarius, we're more inclined to really want a love and our love relationship to feel very unconventional, very unique, very freeing. With Venus in Pisces, we're craving the fairy tale. We're craving the dream within our love. We're craving really being able to melt into art and to beauty all around us. So you might feel a little bit more romantic moving into this influence, as well as just more attuned to the sweetness and beauty and enjoyment all around you as well as within you. And just being mindful, just because Venus is exalted in Pisces does not mean that she doesn't have her faults, okay? Like with Venus in Pisces, being mindful around where it is that you're giving people too many chances or seeing potential rather than the reality. Again, like sometimes it could be great to tune to the big picture, tune into the divinity of the person around, oh my gosh, this is what you could be. And that's important. That's what Pisces is here to do. But just important to understand that the dream isn't always necessarily what's right in front of you. And while this is an important week, whether it comes to the surface within a relationship or within a career goal or that makeup brand that I was talking about, or whatever it is that you're having that clarity around, I know exactly what I want and who it is that I want to be. It won't unfold exactly as you want it to. It won't be that picture perfect daydream and mirage, because nothing in life is like that. But thank goodness for those daydreams and for those mirages that show us what can be possible, or that at least motivate us to taking action, right? Like me watching that show. Most likely working in a magazine is not just cute outfits and girl best chit chats in the office. It's probably a lot more stressful than that, right? But let's say if I was going to change my whole life and go do that, thank goodness for that dream that can give me something that I feel like I am working towards. Will it be different when you arrive, when you fulfill that dream, when you actualize that makeup brand or that relationship or that magazine job or whatever is sharpening into clarity in this moment? Yes, it will feel different. It will feel different. But thank goodness we have that picture perfect daydream that keeps us motivated, that keeps us moving towards something, because it's a divine feeling to feel inspired in this life. And I just want to let you know that technically Mercury square Chiron does not exact until Friday, but I want to put it into your awareness on Thursday, because not only do we have the moon meeting up with Chiron and squaring Mercury, which is sort of a foreshadow for these themes, but it exacts so early that we'll most likely be feeling it Thursday night as well. Another downside about Venus and Pisces that can be very sensitive, right? As more and more the cosmos go into Pisces, a little bit more dreamy, right? And just with Mercury square Chiron, there can be an ouch, whether it's words from other people that kind of have a little like, ouch, like for some reason that like hits me weird, or that doesn't make me feel great. And maybe it's reflecting something to us that we don't want to acknowledge. Maybe it's reflecting to us that they don't understand us in the way that we thought that they understood us. That's the downside of Venus and Pisces, that we could want our lover to read our mind. And with Mercury square Chiron being like, what do you mean you didn't get my vibe that I wanted you to come home with a McFlurry? I was like, mentally sending that to you. You must not be my soulmate, because my soulmate would have brought me home a McFlurry. Like, sometimes we have to articulate, like, can you bring me a McFlurry, or what have you. That's one manifestation. We could just be more sensitive to any sort of feedback that comes in, any sort of criticism at work. We could be taking a lot harder on ourselves when it comes to competitiveness. Again, having that reflection around, that is what I want. Why do they have it and not me? My love, the more that you tune into those sacred mirrors, or what it is that you want, whether it's reflected to you in a fictional character, in an album, in a song, in whatever, in an Instagram profile. However, that means that it's getting closer towards you. And what if you viewed your world through this lens around everything works out perfectly? Everything is happening for me. What is for me will not pass me. And I'm so grateful for these opportunities to sharpen and to focus what is possible for myself and what is possible for my life. Because rather than being bitter, let's focus on using those motivations as fuel to continue to build our own desires. Friday, the 27th, Mercury squared Chiron exact in the morning. So just be mindful around an extra sensitivity. Be mindful around beating yourself up around mistakes or how you wish your life looked. You know, with that Venus Pisces influence, we could definitely be more daydreamy and be like, why aren't I living in New York and working at a magazine job? Why aren't I? And like feeling reality is more crushing. Like again, really important with this influence, tune into the beauty and divinity around you. Like Pisces energy is great because it can turn anything into magic. So elevate those mundane aspects of your life into something magical and beautiful rather than just living in a, I wish I was somewhere else. Like have that vision, have that dream of what it is that you're moving towards, but also remember to find the beauty, find the sweetness, find the enjoyment in where it is that you are now too. And just with Mercury square Chiron, being mindful that you can be more sensitive with language. You can accidentally hurt people with your language, being too direct, being too forthright, as well as just being too harsh when it comes to your internal landscape. And the Aries moon squares off with Pluto in Capricorn as the closing aspect at 1:01 p.m., which can be intense experiences around authority figures, bosses, something of that nature. I feel, you know, these are general, so a lot of this is going to manifest for a lot of different people in different ways, but I just want to share, it feels like a thread that could come up Thursday, Fridays, that some of you could have made a mistake at work and there just feels to be an energy around beating yourself up, holding on to it, ruminating, I'm not good enough, or getting bad feedback from an authority figure, or just being like, oh my gosh, I'm worth this. Like again, cut that loop if it happens. Cancel that narrative. And it's not super aligned for doing important things in that void period. It happens from like 1:01 to 3:42. The moon enters Taurus at 3:42. More inclined to want to find the beauty and luxury and enjoyment around us, especially with this exalted moon meeting up with an exalted Venus. Oh my gosh, this is dreamy, nourishing energy. My love, if you do not go on a date night on Friday, if you do not have your friends over to eat delicious appetizers and make delightful cocktails, if you do not dress cute, this is a Venus day. This is like a Venus day being glorified. Again, kind of a tough morning, but by afternoon it feels reclaimed. So enjoy, feed and nourish the Venus around you. Make little things a big deal. Why just give someone a birthday card when you can make a cake? Why just go there in sneakers if you know deep down you want to wear heels, even if you'll be the most overdressed person? Make big things a big deal. Use every excuse to feel good. On Saturday the 28th, this is the first quarter moon. So it's a check-in point from the Aquarius New Moon, which PS, I'm curious, how was that for you guys? Did you notice anything that came to the surface? Who came to align? Thank you so much to everybody who came, by the way. And so when it comes to first quarter moon, sometimes there can be this clash energy between our wants and our needs. And I would definitely say on Saturday, really important to just ground down into your environment, find new solutions to invite in more beauty. So maybe for some people doing yard work or cleaning or something of the nature to ground down into your environment. Maybe it's doing some work or something of the nature. I would definitely say that evening following, if you do get a little spontaneous cue that you want to do something, even if it's something so silly like just going to the yogurt shop with your roommate or with your partner, just being like, hey, I know it's 10 p.m., but do you really want yogurt right now? And like putting on Uggs and like going to the yogurt shop, and it just feels like a fun little adventure. It's like a $4, thing of yogurt. It's not the big deal. There's people who are scaling mountains at this moment. Like it's not the most crazy thing, but it just feels like a fun little way to embrace some spontaneity into your world. Maybe you find it via baking something delicious. Maybe you find it by indulging in a new sort of show, a new sort of movie, something of the nature. But having those little spurts of spontaneity and fun and adventure can make our time here on Earth just a lot more worthwhile and fun. On Sunday, the 29th, the Sun trines Mars, which is really following, chiseling, and excavating our heck yes. Yes, this is for me. No matter what, I'm focused on this trip, making this happen, this class, making it happen, quitting my job and lining up a different job. Yes, I'm making this happen. Like that energy, when you just feel motivated and inspired to go in a particular direction. It's so strange. The more that you tune to your energy around when it's time to stop or pause, the more you tune to that language of when it's time to hit the gas, go. I remember, I loved it for what it was, Okay. But at my 9 to 5, I was like, I've got to go. But it just didn't feel right. And then one day it was just like, I've got to go. And it was like, it felt right. And the more you can kind of chisel and tune into that, the more that you know that you are in alignment with your soul and your purpose and the divine timing. Like, not everything is meant to happen overnight. So you need to honor when you are feeling inspired and when you do have that push or that feeling around, I know this is for me, I need to follow this, right? Rather than overthinking it, I need to follow my instincts. With the Sun trine Mars would be great as well of kind of allowing ourselves to transform. If you did feel any of that Mercury square Chiron jealousy or comparison, this is the energy around being like, okay, I can either be jealous of this individual, I could just use this person as fuel in a weird way, use this person's story as motivation, use how it is that they show up as drive around what could be possible for myself and my journey, and to move in that direction, because this is an air sign. So allow yourself to be inspired by your community. And with Sun trine Mars, maybe it's even just feeling inspired, like hyping up your friends as well. Again, everybody's living their own life, they're living their own chart. You might look at something that your friend is so excited about and be like, wow, you're really diving into feng shui, huh? I'm very different, but cheerlead that person, hype them up, get them excited. Notice their certainty and their excitement and hype them up, while also drawing awareness towards what it is that you are excited by, and see how you guys can like cheerlead and support one another. And I also want to highlight that Mercury trine Uranus happens as well. So embracing the new, the innovative, the novel is supportive at this time. Embracing new solutions to old problems. Again, this is the final pass of Mercury trine Uranus. This has been repeated as part of the retrograde. So maybe this retrograde brought certain things to your awareness. So think about what's coming to the surface December 29th, where you've been having resistance, what problems have been coming up. And if you can shift in that mindset I said earlier around, what if this was happening for me? Like, magic happens when you have that, when you are like, what if my website went down so that I would realize that there is something wrong with the code and fix it before it became a bigger problem? Or what if when I went to go book that trip for Peru, the website was down for a reason because there's actually an even more aligned opportunity coming my way? What if everything was on my side? Again, some of you might feel very differently about whether or not there is a higher power or universe or cosmos or what have you. But what if you shifted that mindset? Because I guarantee it's not going to create any harm. And if anything, it's just going to help you feel more supported, more positive, more aligned with your journey. And I will tell you, magic happens. Magic happens when you live your life as though everything is working out for you. And again, I don't say that to minimize any of the major stuff that people are going through. We had a Pluto aspect last week. I know a lot of people having intense transits. If you are deep in a Saturn story or deep in a Pluto story, you might not necessarily be able to tap into this energy around everything happens for a reason. I definitely think there needs to be a limit on that thinking. But I will say, if it comes to an inconvenience, if it comes to something contemplating and playing with, what if this was happening for my best good? How would that change how it is that I show up within this moment? And again, with Mercury trine Uranus, like these are two signs, Mercury in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, that are more concerned with maintaining the status quo. And with them kind of infusing this energy around embracing the new, looking around what new you can invite into your life, right? Like, contrast brings clarity. So if there are certain elements of your life that you're like, oh, I'm feeling really bored with this, I'm feeling really not inspired with my environment, attuning to the contrast around, okay, there's certain elements of my reality now that are not serving me. And with that contrast around how things are and how I want them to be, it brings me clarity around what I need to move towards. I know exactly what I want and who I want to be. And we get to that space of certainty and of self-knowing and of self-trust around what is good for us through having contrast experience, where it's like, I did not like that, this is not for me. And so embracing this novelty into your world. Maybe it's around solving old problems that were brought into your awareness through Mercury retrograde. Maybe it's just embarking on a new class, on a new experience, on a new job, new decoration for your house. Embrace this novel, innovative flow of energy. And on the 29th, the moon aspects kind of reflect that journey around playing with, what if this was working out for my highest and best good? Because the Taurus moon sextiles Neptune in Pisces around 12, which is that energy around attuning to the big picture. What if this was working out for me? But the Taurus moon does go on to square Saturn in Aquarius at 403, which again can bring limitations or this pressure around our responsibilities, Sunday scaries sort of energy, but infusing as you can where it is that you can just drop in a little bit of magic into it. Dealing with those inconveniences and playing with the magical thinking around, what if this was working out for me? I wanted to go get this couch. I was going back and forth. I couldn't decide which one I want. I finally made up my mind and I get there and it's out of stock. But what if this was happening for my highest and best good? What if there is a couch that I'm gonna see and be like, oh, heck yeah, that is for me. There is nothing better than that feeling of, oh, heck yeah, whether that comes to a person, whether that comes to a job, to a business, to a creative project. Honor your heck no and follow your heck yes, okay? You deserve a life full of heck yeses, and Jupiter in Aries is trying to move you in that direction. And the last aspect on Sunday is just that the Taurus moon trines Pluto in Capricorn, so remember your power, and the moon will be void at that point, so at 9:52 p.m. And that is our week, my loves. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I follow my yes and I honor my no. Again, this week is around focused intention, focused clarity. And for some people, you will get a strong pull around, yes, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Maybe for some of you, it's like, no. That's also clarity. Your no gives just as much clarity as your yes around not this relationship, not this job, not this home. Contrast brings clarity, okay? So I really want you to tune into your intuition around where it is that you're feeling, yes, this is the direction I want to go. This is what I feel excited about. I know exactly what I want and who it is that I want to be. Or honoring, there are certain elements of my reality that are not resonating. I feel like I've outgrown. That also can bring clarity. So rather than feeling bogged down around, oh, I wish it looked different than this, right? With Mercury square Chiron, I wish I was different than this. Just attuning to, I'm so grateful that I have this clarity with my life that helps me sharpen into focus what it is that I'm moving towards, who it is that I am becoming. Because we only figure out our heck yes through having our heck no, okay? So appreciate whatever burst of clarity, whatever intuition, whatever feeling connected to a bigger picture. So honor whatever burst of clarity comes through, whatever your instincts and your intuition are trying to tell you, whatever you are feeling guided towards within the week ahead. So my loves, that is our week. I want to thank Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. Reminder, you can get 3 months of subscription to Magic Mind for the price of 2 just until January 31st. So maybe you're getting this burst of clarity around, I want to try it. Let me just take action. Let me learn if this works for me, right? So you can use code COMET20 and check out the link below to jump into that. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. My loves, until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.